back, baby.
We're into it.
We're into it.
Am I still working?
Yeah, you're still good. Still good.
Nice.
Nice. We've got a big podcast on the way. Knicks win, which we correctly predicted months ago. We actually did. I don't know if we did or not. I think we said the Spurs are going to win it all, but and then World Cup.
I'm pretty sure we were pretty convinced. What was it? 100% coming out of the West.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
I think I died on that hill. I think I said it multiple times. I'm like, the winner is 100% coming out of the West. I was like, it's going to be a case of like the NFL where, you know, the NFC champion, that game's the best in series. And yeah, look, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Some World Cup, definitely not shit. We're going to talk about the Socceroos, my boys up and about. Connor's lads get underway Thursday morning here in Australia, and also some State of Origin, which is tomorrow night.
Game 2.
Should we rip into a little intro?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, welcome to Sidebar Sports.
Place for those sidebar conversations with mates.
A bit of sport.
A little bit of culture.
Then a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the first part. Knicks, NBA champions. I think this was like the ultimate men's versus boys sort of finals mentality of experience. I think what a lot of the takes I've seen have been like, who are you taking if you go into like your local YMCA in basketball and you play pickup and you got the experienced guys or the young guys, and it's like everyone was like, you take the experienced guys. I don't know what it was. I think that it was just the Spurs convinced me. I think they're just mentality throughout the whole tournament, like the whole series. But I just looked like they maybe ran out of gas, and the Knicks were too smart. Mike Brown played it perfectly, coached it perfectly for the Knicks. Just they waited for their time in every match. Even though you could say the Spurs, like throughout the matches, probably more dominant each game. They're probably more dominant across each quarter. You say 2.5 quarters, they're probably better, but then when it matters, the Knicks win. So fair play to the Knicks. Brunson is inevitable. And you know what? I'm actually pretty happy for this Knicks team, despite everything that is, despite their whole fan base and how horrendous that's been. But you get that everywhere you go. I'm happy for Jalen Brunson. I always like when someone takes less money. What did he leave on the table? Was it 113 million? Was it?
Yeah, it was like, I did see it 100. I thought it was 180, but maybe it was 120 or something.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm all here for that. People that do that. Brady did it. Brunson's done it. Let's see what else they can get out of it. But I'm always here for guys that actually do it for the sport and for the love. And I'm like, this Knicks team is a likable Knicks team.
113. You're right. Sorry, 113 million dollars.
Yeah, he's left 113 million on the table, and he's gone and got himself an NBA championship. They've rolled the dice, got rid of Tibbs, brought in Mike Brown. But it's all paid off. So fair play to the Knicks and my namesake James Dolan.
Yeah, it's good to be a dollar now. You can safely travel to New York City.
I'm not gonna get questioned every time I'm going over now.
Yeah, you said that previously. If you missed it, you would get questions like Dolan.
I had it in New York from like one of the kind of customs sort of people, and they're like
TSA.
TSA. That's the line. Any relation? I was there like, no, don't worry, mate.
Like, now you are. You're like, I'm coming over to see Dad. Just let me cut through. You'll be a king in New York City, man. I don't think you have to pay for a drink.
Just flashing that passport around all over the place now.
Look, I'm
awesome, how good as well. Like 10 years as well. What is it? 10 years almost. No, not to the date, but that Villanova 3 of Brunson, Bridges, Josh Hart. And now 10 years later, they go and win it.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's they went and got those guys, put them all together. I love Josh Hart. I mean, I really liked him when he was on my team, the Lakers. I think part of that as well was because he's a Chelsea fan. And he's a mad Chelsea fan as well. So I always blue. Yeah, it's still blue. I love that. Happy for him, happy for the team, happy for Brunson. You know, it's back to the Lakers, we've got Luka. I think at the time, if you would have had to put a bet on of Luka at the Lakers or Brunson at the Knicks, I think everyone, even Knicks fans, probably would have gone, all right, they're going to win a championship first.
Just
because
anybody saw that coming.
No one saw that coming. I mean, but good on to him. Like, I think it's amazing. Like, I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for that team.
I've seen like a few takes, people going around and being like, is this the greatest underdog story? Now, officially the greatest underdog story in the NBA. I know you can maybe look at Jokic as the only other guy who obviously went late in the second round.
Yeah.
But still big, like he's still in a big, like big physique. He had a lot of potential, and people were like, okay, yeah, this is like a guy.
I think as well though, like
it's like not even a lot of people say. I know he's registered at 6'2", but everyone was like, when you see him up close, he's like the guy's like 6 foot maybe.
Yeah, and also I think it's hard when you're a European player, like, because I don't think they get all the eyeballs on them as constantly. I know, like, they're probably better at it these days. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, I think we all knew. But even then, sorry, I think we've been over this before. I think everyone knew he was going to be huge, but not like this huge or this great.
Yeah.
The same thing with like when you're an American player and, there's all these college, high school tapes, highlight tapes, and then you're in college and whatever. So I think like, the Jokic comparison is like, not as good because people didn't see him, whereas like everyone kind of missed on Brunson in a way. I think people thought he was good, but to be the guy on a championship team, I don't think anyone saw that. I mean, Dallas definitely didn't. They didn't lock him down. So yeah, I just think it's incredible. But I mean, you and I put up that post the other day. I still think that this is the start of the Spurs dynasty. They're such a young team, as you said. I think there were moments where they looked the better team. I think there's moments that Turkey looked the better team against Australia, but at the end of the day, it's the scoreboard that counts. I mean, you look at that Spurs game, and it was record threes in that first half or whatever it was, and then they couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. In that second half. So. Congratulations to Nick. I think, and their fan base. Back to that, I put that video up earlier today, and people are getting involved, like mentioning their fan base or their team, or whatever it is. The Edmonton Oilers I saw, and some other hockey teams we didn't put an NHL team in there, but
Edmonton's a great shout as well. Since Gretzky, isn't it? Basically,
I saw that in the comments, but I'm happy for him. We've been over it. We won't go into it too much longer. Basketball City, so.
What, one and done for the Knicks, this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, part of me wants to say yes. I just think the NBA is as deep as it's ever been. I think it's way more competitive. We've been over it. Yeah. 8 winners, different winner every year. I just think, I don't want to say it to be disrespectful against the Knicks. I just want to say it's a very deep league. Teams can get healthy. You can have injuries as well. I think it might be one and done, but I think if you ask every Knicks fan or New Yorker, they'd be like, yeah, I'd rather be one and done than be none and done.
100%. I was thinking about this as well, with kind of maybe if we're caveating from this into the World Cup now, but I've thrown this question around a little bit on the weekend, and since I've been back here, everyone's always talking about Italy not qualifying for the last 3 World Cups. The last time Italy qualified for the World Cup, the iPhone hadn't even been invented yet. And it's like, the last time they qualified for it is when they won it. And it's like, all right, if you're, this literally feels like they're at a crossroads. Like, what part of their soul did they sell to the devil? Who sold their soul to the devil? And be like, all right, you get this World Cup, but you're going to miss the next potentially 3. Do you take that as like a major sporting powerhouse and being like, you're going to win the next 3, you're going to win this one, but you're not going to make them even qualify for the next 3? Are you taking that?
So you're saying, You're saying the Italians went, if they did a deal going, hey guys, you win this one, which they shouldn't have. Australia should have won. If you go back to that Italy-Australia game, I don't know if you know much about that game, but we were robbed. We were robbed in 2006,
that
mate.
Took you all of about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
to get yourself back around that way.
But yeah, you're asking if they went. I don't think they would, because I think the thing is, like, Italy are a powerhouse. I don't think they would say, yes, we'll win one if we can't get into any. How long's it been, would you say? Was it 2006?
16 years to 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
You're going to win one World Cup. You're going to win this World Cup, but you're not going to qualify for the next 3. Well, so you're not going to be able to qualify for 20 years, basically.
I don't think they'd take that deal, because I think at the time they'd think we produce such great footballers. And look, they still are. The Italy thing to me is mind-boggling in that. I think it's interesting because Italy's probably like the number one country of like countries that miss out that you'd be okay with staying home. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many beautiful places. Go down to Positano Beach, you're like sipping an Aperol going, I'm not over in America.
I remember seeing that meme of that, was it of Lake Como, and he was like, you can see why the Italians looked at this and invented unemployment.
Yeah, literally. You can see why the Italians invented this and went, don't want to go to a World Cup.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't fancy going to Kansas, to be honest.
Have you been to Naples? Sorry, mate. Not going to New York. Yeah, and then they expanded the teams, and I do think that's something we have to look at. There's not just Italy. I'm all for more football, and we're going to get to some of these smaller nations, but who have punched above their weight. We're going to get to that Spain game with Cape Verde as well, but I don't know. I like more football, but we've got to change sort of the weighting or the structure of it because I would like to see an Italy in the World Cup. I just would.
Yeah, no, it'd be. You always want the best teams there. I was thinking about this from an England fan perspective. Of like, if someone goes to me, you will win this World Cup, but you're not going to qualify for 20 years.
You would, surely.
Yes.
Yes, I would. You'd take it and not. How long's it been? 60 years?
60 years.
So what happens if? Okay, I'll take.
There is one person left alive from that team.
Who is it?
From that. I think is it Jeff? Oh God, what's his name? Jeff Hurst. Jeff Hurst.
It
is. Who was? Yeah. Who?
How old's Jeff now?
He scored the hat trick in the World Cup final as well.
How old's Jeff Hurst?
Jeff Hurst. He's 84. I was actually watching. I was watching a little bit of a doc. They did a bit of a good doc on it actually. So he was back in that day as well. He is the most mental story. Jeff Hurst. He was like a good player. Jimmy Greaves, who was like the main striker for England, like one of the best strikers in the world at the time, gets injured. I think just after the group stages. Jeff Hurst gets picked up. He's like 19, 20 at the time. Goes and then England just stick with him for the rest of the tournament. And that was back in the day where you don't really make subs. So Jimmy Greaves is basically just in a suit at the end of the match. And Jeff Hurst goes and scores a hat trick in the final as well. And you're like, this is the most incredible roll of the dice of someone being ready. But yeah, do I take that after 60 years? Yes, I do.
So sorry, I'm just saying.
For Euros.
The same one. So yeah, if I said you can win this one, but you're not going to win one for another 60.
Yeah, until I'm 49. Yeah, fine, that'd be tough. Actually, no, you know what? It'd be longer because they've not qualified for this one. They're going to wait another 4 more years, so it's going to be 24 years at that point.
Yeah, true.
That's a whole generation of players. Jesus. I would take it. I wouldn't take it for the Euros. I would maybe take not qualifying for the next Euros or like a Euros.
Have you seen as well Japan, Netherlands, great game as well, 2-2, the Blue Samurai. Have you seen their like governments come out and said like their goal is to win a World Cup by 2050?
Really? No, that's scary. Considering they're actually they're pretty good at following through with those sorts of things.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, there's a country that you're like, so they we will invade
America. Oh,
well, you did. I don't want to say how that turned out for you, Japan, though. But no spoilers if you haven't seen that war yet. But yeah, I just saw some other people. Like I saw someone like it was like a fake England account on Twitter going, "What do you think we're doing? We're trying."
Yes, this is ridiculous.
No one else is.
But they I'll be like all the sports like they've got such a good history of like dedicate, like obviously just culturally what they're like, dedicating themselves to something, and then just all of a sudden being the best at it. Like what they've done, I think. You look at extremes, like a lot of extreme sports. They've had a surfing world champion, they've had skateboarding world champions now, and they're just kind of weirdly cleaning up in these areas where you're like you just wouldn't associate with Japan at all.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're just like they're these powerhouses in these sports you just didn't see coming, and it's like maybe it could work if they really dial in on
it. Yeah, I definitely can see him doing it because like I saw on This Is Football. I've been watching on Netflix. It's actually been really good. I really enjoyed what they're doing. But Gary Lineker was talking over there. He went there at the end of his career in the 90s or 80s. I think it was it 80s, 70s, 80s. Sorry, I think I've gone. Yeah. I think I've made it a bit younger than what he was. And he said like that was their introduction to football. Like they never had football, and they went we want to have football now. So they create the J League. And he was talking about like a lot of their translations are based off the actual word because it came so late in their like life. So goalkeeper in Japanese is keeper.
Right, really?
Yeah,
keeper.
Yeah. Handball in Japanese is handu. Offside is offsido.
What? This is what the words are in actual Japanese.
Yeah. Corner kick is konoraku kiku. Because they came to it like so their first league was around 93, I think it was. Yeah, so it was first professional league was around 93. So like because it came so late and they had so many words already in their language, they didn't have football words. So it's just slight tweaks on it, which I thought was really really funny, really interesting.
That is pretty. Oh, it's actually really sweet.
yeah, and I can see them like the government and changing it, going all right, we're going to be we're going to do this and do it by 2050. Maybe that's the thing we should say on the podcast now. Gun to your head, Connor. Do you think who wins the World Cup before 2050, England or Japan?
Honestly, that's actually pretty tough.
Yeah, it's tough. See,
we have to surely, something has to click in that time. I don't know. Maybe people would have thought that in the last 60 years. So, but it's not happened. I'm still staying England in that situation.
England, okay, England. Yeah,
it's more the Japanese culture and ethic towards dedication and like how good they can become at something like food. When you go to those sorts of places, like fashion, all of a sudden as well, they become like the coolest places, if not the coolest place to go shopping in the world. Is like just how like culture and they don't things they can be. Yeah,
they don't sleep. Like they just make things happen. But I just think,
guys can be there and they can be like, I'm going to dedicate my whole life to eggs and be the best guy at making omelets. And you're like, how good can you make eggs? Like, oh well, that's how good you can make.
Yeah, you eat it and you go, wow, this is. I've never eaten an egg like this. It's like when I had their Kobe beef over there, their Wagyu and stuff, and I'm like, and look, Australia does some great steaks and great beef, right? Yeah. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on, you're really that good at it? And I put it in my mouth and I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever had in my mouth. I was like,
did you have a full ratatouille moment? You know,
yeah, literally. I was like, and it was like, and then so like I paid for the like most expensive one on the menu, and my partner was like, you can't do that. Like that's so expensive for steak, like the marbling stuff through it. And I was like, if they can make the like middle of the range steak taste is good, I need to know, like for me, I need to know how much, because like how much better can this get? Then I had that one and I was like, fucking hell. I was like, I can't leave Japan. I was like, this is like, it just melted in your mouth. It was like butter. It was just unbelievable. So, I mean, yeah, shout out.
If they can do that, think about what they can do on the football field.
Yeah, they can on the football field. Back to the World Cup. I mean, I do want to chat about Australia's result against Turkey. But the thing I want to chat to you about, Con, because I've been emceeing, I've been hosting out at Alexandria at Ultra Football, and maybe I'll put a quick clip up tomorrow. England fans, I am doing the England game Thursday morning. So, you know, Cons fan, anyone here in Australia, you're English, you need a place to watch it, you can come watch it with me on Thursday morning. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I watched 4 games. I was hosting them on Sunday. And that's like when I'm there, right? So you're sort of emceeing, you're watching the games. It's I guess a lot more watching than like at home, because you can still get distracted by your phone or, you know, or my golden retriever Goose. But the thing that really stands out to me about this World Cup is these hydration breaks.
Yes. This is what, I mean, this is, did we speak about this last week? I don't know if
I don't think we did. Yeah, I think we might have
thinking about this with people, but it's like, since watching it, and when you watch the games, they are such a momentum killer for attacking teams, and they have been such a game changer. People like they're just having that subtle little break for a couple of minutes. I know you get teams that try and do it tactically in football with like injuries and things like that when someone goes down. But they're such a game changer, and I've really noticed it. Like even in that open match in Mexico, of when some team can be so dominant, it just really takes the pressure off. And not to be another ridiculous England fan, but I'm like, this is watching that is like, okay, that actually is going to suit us, because we can go, all right, we've got this is in the latter stages of the tournament when we're basically designed, and you look at this England team when they are not expected to look up, like to have possession of the ball. They've not selected players that will play keep ball against those sorts of teams. They've been, all right, we're going to be good defensively, we can be athletic, and we're going to counter-attack. And now they've looked at that, and they're like, you look at that and you go, okay, all right, Spain, France, whoever it is, we're just going to sit there and we can defend for 20 minutes. But all right, that's 22 minutes. Defend here. We're going to counter-attack, just work really hard for this period of time. Then you get a break, and then you get to go again. And with how fit footballers are, they can just recover almost instantaneously in that long of a break, and they're just like, sweet, we'll go again. And it's so good now for like that sort of stuff, that it's so suited to those sorts of teams that are designed to play that way, compared to teams that are playing total football and try and keep ball and try and tire you out and wear you down with pressure. And it's just completely nullified that. It's real, like, people really like spoken about it enough beforehand, but you see it happen live now. It just completely changes the vibe of a match, and they can completely swing things.
Yeah, even like for those like teams that aren't like wearing you down, like that Morocco Brazil game, and I thought Brazil looked pretty awful, to be honest. Like I didn't love what I saw, but then like in that game with Morocco, right? they score, and then the hydration breaks comes, and like they were like all over Brazil, and then like in the game of football, you get a goal, and then next thing you're on top of them, and like it's like you can score another one, like you're starting as defenders, you're like, oh my god, they've scored on the keeper, like so it's not just to your point. Yes, it really helps those teams that are counter attacking and absorbing, but it helps teams that are just have just conceded, and then they're like, all right, let's just calm down, let's just talk about what we've seen, and it's literally like watching basketball. Yes. We're talking about the NBA finals have just been on. They're quarters. I'm sorry, they are. They stop, they come in, they hydrate. Like you said, they rest.
They have a team,
They have a team talk. The manager can talk about what he's seen, what his assistants have seen. They can change the way they're setting up. It is a completely different game. It is not like games that we watch on television, whatever sport it is, whatever code is the way it is because of the rules. Not just the rules, but the breaks and how much time you get to recover and rest or whatever. This changes it. Like it's not the game. Like in the Australia game, I have it here. Irankunda scored 5 minutes just after that hydration break. Like Australia did not have the ball, 30% of possession, just had to keep absorbing Turkey. And then it's like, all right, whoa, guys, we can breathe. We can just have a little, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I do think that, Tony Popovic, the coach, saw something because when we hit on the counter and then Irankunda comes back and it's a great goal. Chef kiss. No notes. Like that kid's going to be a star if he's not already. But again, I don't know if that happens without those drink breaks and those hydration breaks.
When you have sustained pressure and you're like working that hard, because you can't catch your breath. When you're having a team, when you're playing someone like Pep's sort of side, it's one of those things where you can't catch your breath, and it's designed to do that to the opposite team. Yeah,
whereas it's to wear you down. Like it's to wear down the opposition, and so that you are fatigued, and so you make mistakes either physically or mentally. And then even outside of that, like I said, so in that Morocco game where like they scored and then you went to the hydration break, like even if you aren't a team that's just absorbing pressure and you concede, you know what it's like. If you, in any game, you concede against the opposition, you start thinking like, oh, did I make a mistake? You might overthink it, right? And it might change. You might be the more dominant team, but because you've conceded, you know, and again, that's where good teams are good, right? They just let it go and they forget about it. Yeah. Goldfish, Ted Lasso, be a goldfish. But it doesn't, it doesn't help those teams if you do get a bit of momentum and then suddenly it's like, nope, stop. It's just wild to me.
It's insane. And like if you're like being like someone that's been like an athlete, a fresh sports person in the past, the benefit of having that break of when you work hard, especially after the first block, that first period I think is when players will probably be the most tired. But when you have that break, it's like when you do like fitness tests, fitness drills, whatever, when you have a little bit of a recovery time. It's like when you have runners, a lot of runners will have a small run. Say they're doing like a half marathon, you'll do like a quick few Ks just to kind of get everything out of your legs and like kind of get your oxygen, your blood flowing. Then you have a break and then you get your second win. It's like you get this a lot in sevens where you feel better after the first game. Like second and third and fourth games, that's when you really feel your fitness kicking in. And that's going to be exactly what happens in these matches where those teams are like, okay, right, get my legs under me. We have this break. Now I can really go. And it's going to be so geared to those teams that are like, all right, we're just going to be super fit, super fast. And we can just get these breaks now. We can just recharge and we can just fire after the other team. Like we can just sit there and we just go. And you look at this England team now as well. You got Gordon, you got Saka, Rashford, you got the wingers, O'Reilly, James. It's just those guys can now just be like, cool, we're going to defend. And we are so fast on the counter attack. Like you can see why Tuchel was maybe even like thought about this when not a lot of people probably have been like, this is going to be an absolute game changer to our setup.
And the other thing which I saw Virgil van Dijk talk about as well, he came out and he's talking about it, and he said like, which I thought was interesting as well because America is such a big place, right? And climate changes. Like the games that will be up in Canada or Seattle or whatever are very different to the game that'll be in Miami or down in Mexico. Like you can have these games that are going to be really hot and humid, and you're going to be like, all right, maybe we do need and that's what Virgil was saying. Like maybe you do for some games, but you don't for others, because there's definitely been games where I was just out of curiosity jumping on my phone, looking at the weather report, and I'm like, it's like low 20s. Like it's not.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. But you're getting this stop, which again now becomes an advantage. So maybe this World Cup will be known as the four quarters.
They were playing in Spain like a few weeks ago, basically at the start of the Spanish summer. Like, how hot do you think that is?
Yeah, and I saw that. I love that. It's the Beckham and Victoria meme. He's like, tell the truth. Really it's like, what are the hydration breaks for? They're for the players. I think, what do they? Tell the truth. They're for commercials.
Yeah, thank you.
Because apparently, and this is the thing that's funny, like in America, they're obviously showing commercials, but I know in some coverage, they're not going to commercial. They're actually still staying, and people are talking through it and talking over it. Some countries are, some countries aren't.
Analysis.
But yeah, I mean,
just turn it into basketball essentially.
Yeah, it is basketball, and don't forget, Americans love that. The 2-minute warning, which is something in the NFL, was completely invented to add more ads into the NFL. So
that's actually what that was. That was for nothing else other than for ad breaks. Really,
that was for ad breaks. Yeah, so they were like that 2-minute warning. So if it's in the game and the 2-minute warning's on, when they were renegotiating the TV rights, all the TV companies were like, "We need to get more ads in." So then, the NFL came up with it, like, "All right, at the 2-minute warning, we'll just when there's 2 minutes left and they're still on the field, we'll do this thing of like 2 minutes to get the crowd's attention and be like, there's only 2 minutes left in the quarter, but then we'll actually have a break and you can go to ads again." It was invented for advertising.
It's obviously like, because it was obviously the 2-minute warning is like a sign for the teams to be like, okay, you basically get one more, you basically get 3 more, you basically get like a clean set of drives each.
Yeah.
And then that's it because of how long it takes. But then they've used that, but like, okay, cool, we can use that moment.
We can use that for
like,
more.
This is your time now. This is your warning before that's going to be this is the end of the game. Fair play. All right, yeah.
Fair play. Look, yeah, I mean, I'll go on the Socceroos pretty quick. I'm assuming. I'd love to know.
Can I ask what was the atmosphere like in Sydney? Can you paint us the picture?
Oh, it was off its head. I was, where I am. There is a bar, but it is in a sports complex. It's a shop where you can. They've got all the world kit. Trust me, Con, this is not good for me because we've got a discount that we can use at Ultra Football, and there's every World Cup kit in there, and there are some great kits. And it is dangerous because you got to, and they've got the
old and new.
Old and new, yeah. So like I'm walking through and I'm just like, I could spend some coin in it. They got this old Japanese long sleeve kit. I don't even know what year that one's from, but it's very impressive. But yeah, I had friends at pubs all over. And look, there's a lot of sport on the moment. I think and we're doing this. I'm emceeing hosting a gig with Tooheys tomorrow night for the State of Origin with Paul McGregor, former Dragons coach, played for New South Wales, played for Australia, New South Wales assistant coach. So hosting him, some people, Red Lion Hotel. It's going to be a lot of fun. But then getting up in the morning to do the England thing. So there's a lot of sport on, but I was lucky that I wasn't, I guess, in a pub. There's a bar where you can get drinks, but I had some mates who just absolutely sent it. Like when we scored that second goal, it was on for young and old. There were definitely some sore heads in Sydney. A lot of sickies, I would imagine, sick days on Monday.
What time was kickoff?
2:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday.
Oh,
yeah.
Sunday in Sydney, 2:00 in the afternoon.
And it was like, it was a good day. It wasn't like super sunny, but it wasn't like, there was some rain, but then it was kind of overcast, and it kind of like, I guess, pushed people into pubs. It didn't like piss down. But yeah, there was definitely like a switch was flicked. When we'd won 2-0, some people that just went for a few beers on a Sunday afternoon suddenly were out till, the early hours of the morning, celebrating a great...
Rolling through into work.
Rolling through to Monday morning.
Is that the closest thing you reckon that's been like atmosphere-wise and vibe towards football since the Matildas?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Sydney since the Tillies. The Tillies went on the run here. Shout out to the girls, YTG. To get that result was
when Australia get it like they're obviously such a good sporting nation, but getting amongst it in football amongst the rest of the other powerhouses in sport, and you're just like, yes. This is Australia. This is us just being underdogs and punching above our weight and having this mental fan base that gets behind anything when it's like actually really kicking off.
Yeah, I saw someone was talking about Australia's now a football nation off the back of this celebration on Sunday and the result and everyone getting up and around. Look, I love football. I mean, I love all sports, to be honest. I'll bet on anything that can move. But we're not a football nation. That's just the reality of it. We are a nation that gets behind our national teams. Look at we are a country that loves to punch above our weight. So in a game like Turkey, where we are the underdogs, they are a more talented, better team, and we win 2-0. Even the person who doesn't even know who's on the Socceroos is going nuts at the pub because they understand how big that is. We love our national teams. We'll get especially if they're winning as well. So I will
nice
say that
you guys do well in sports that pretty much other countries actually play, though.
It's not.
You obviously have a touch of the Americans about them of being like, we're the best in the world. It's rugby league. Relax.
I think the thing is we still have I think there's some people that probably do mean it, but I still think there's a lot that are just sarcastic. Like
AFL, literally no one else plays it. You have Gaelic football's the closest thing, guys.
Hey, we're the best in the world, and kind of Ireland maybe as well. But just quickly on that, Toby Green, who plays for the Giants, he's got a podcast because everyone has a podcast these days.
Another boy with a podcast.
He said, because his game was on the same time as Socceroos, and he's like, I wish the AFL moved it to like early on Sunday. So it's like, let's just say let's do like a 10, 11 a.m. Bounce, play our game early so then people can go in and watch it. Because he's like, this thing happens once every 4 years. We do get behind our Socceroos. I'll be honest, even the most casual, even non-sports fans get behind it. And I think as well with the success of the Tooheys, there are so many females as well that are now watching the Socceroos who have no idea, no interest, no long-term interest. Just I'm going to get around them for this. But he made a good point. I think the NRL and the AFL should both. I think it's too late now. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think definitely, in another just avoid it. Let's all be friends. Let's make it easier for the fans because again, no one was watching that AFL game on Sunday. That's the truth.
Yeah, this is the thing. You get this. People kick off about this subject as well in the UK during the Six Nations. You have local club rugby matches that I would play. Loads all the biggest rugby fans essentially play, and they don't shift the times for kickoffs for these matches. Like you speak to everyone that plays in these local club games, literally like. Kind of Randwick sort of Waverley sort of level, everything's sort of below. And the Six Nations, obviously, 5 weekends of the year. And the earliest kickoff you get is 2:00. And you're like, all right, can we just for this period just shift everything? Everyone wants to anyway. Everyone just wants to shift it earlier to can we just do midday kickoff somewhere just so we can finish the game and go and watch? We're playing rugby because we love the sport. Can we just go and watch the games that we're actually wanting to? No one actually really cares much about playing. This is so we can all get together as mates and then go watch something in the pub after. And they've still not really adjusted it, and it's absurd. And people miss their teams playing all the time. They're like, how are these governing bodies that are managing this not sorting this, seeing this happen, and putting something in place? Even government related, being let's put something in place where you're all right, no sport, everyone go and watch your country during this period. But it's good start for the Aussies. I'm happy for them, but that's really dialed up the pressure now.
Look, I really want to look. Two things I want to do. Really, this one is in one thing. I just really want to beat the Yanks. It would just be so magical after their performance in that first game. Their chants, "We love you, we love you, we love you, and we'll follow, we'll follow, we'll follow." It's just fuck off, right off. If we lost our minds beating Turkey, and I think they're the best team in our group, to be honest. Even though I did watch the way, that's pre the games. If we beat, people will be missing for 3 days. Yeah. There will be benders. It will be absolutely insane. There's too many things in my head right now, so I am just checking. I think it's Saturday morning. I could be.
What, the American match?
Yeah, the American match. I'm just checking now. If this wants to load, I think it is Saturday morning.
You were really nicely. You were kind of reminiscing and reminding me a lot of then Kevin Keegan's iconic '96 rant. Then when you were there, I will love it. We'll love it.
Oh yeah, I will love it. I will love it. Australia Games World Cup. Saturday, 20th of June, 5 a.m.
Saturday. People are either rolling through.
Yeah. You're either rolling through or you're just rolling like
5 a.m. is tough. You're like getting up. You know what? Actually, fuck it. It's Bondi, especially people in the East. They love waking up at 4:30 anyway. Get up, go for it.
Yeah, I got I can't say on the podcast, but a mate of mine, Hayden James, he's an Aussie DJ, massive. He is playing this secret gig on Saturday. So you can sign up on his Instagram. You can click on it, and like you can register for it, and then you can basically win free tickets to it to see him on Saturday. And it's one of my favorite venues in Sydney. It's in the afternoon. It's like a sunset gig. It's going to be epic. I'll put this up as well for Hayden. I've already chucked some stuff up for him. I'm going to be going to it on Saturday. So yeah, I'll be working the game in the morning. So I won't be drinking at 5 a.m. But I'm sure I might start drinking and crack a cold one after if we win and beat the US. The other one, it'd be a big day.
Be a big one. I think what my strategy be personally from history. If it's a Friday, because it's off a Friday night, knowing my past, I'd be like, let's just roll through.
Look, I think there'll be two camps. I think there'll be the Friday roll throughs, or I think there's a lot of people I know who are treating it like Anzac Day.
Yeah.
Get up early, get on the breakfast
dawn
service, and then just push on through. The last thing I'll say on the Socceroos is you probably didn't see this, but Barcelona reportedly interested in our 18-year-old defender, Lucas Herrington. So he's playing over in the US at the moment. His value is between 23 to 30 million. I think Barcelona came in with a 30 million offer for him. I think it's Colorado Rapids that he plays for. They knocked it back. I can't believe that Barcelona are interested in an Australian player, this young 18-year-old centre-back. If Barcelona are interested in Herrington, then Real Madrid, our boy Jose, go get Irankunda. Go get Irankunda, mate. You know you want to. Watching the Socceroos play, it was like old school Jose. Park in the big yellow bus and then hit him on the counter. That's your boy Jose. Go get him.
Get the tradies in. Get the Aussie bricklayers in. Build that brick wall in front of that goal.
Build that brick wall. I loved it. I do want to move to a big game because on our last podcast, I did pick Spain to win. I also picked young player and player of the tournament as Lamine Yamal. Now, I will say on the podcast last week, I did say didn't expect him to play this game. Apparently, he was healthy enough to, and I said he may come on at the end, which he did today. But shout out to Cape Verde, who drew with Spain.
This makes me nervous though, because Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the first game of the World Cup last year, and I'm just like, don't piss them off, please.
I don't think this could have gone better for Spain. They had nothing going in. I don't know even if you saw, like, there were like reporters were like, everything's great. We love our team. Obviously, they did so well in the Euros. Players were talking about getting their manager's face tattooed on them if they win. It was all happy. Everyone was just good. This is the smack in the mouth they needed. As you said, Argentina lost. Not even, they drew against Cape Verde, but Argentina lost their first game, went on to win the World Cup. This is the wake up I think Spain needed. I think this will be the best thing for them. I actually think this is great for Spain. I see a lot of people going,
I've always said this. It's always been my thing in sport. I would rather when you get a team on like a hot win streak, especially in a regular season, like throughout like a tournament or league. Like, please do not be on that win streak towards the end of the season. Like, have a slap on the face. Like, shake it off, because you can always see it, because it always starts crumbling and they get a bit wobbly and they start thinking about, we've not lost yet. It's like, fuck it, we've already lost. Like, who cares? Like, relax. And this is going to be the thing just to shake him up. And I'm like, please don't come back and be really good off the back of this. But I enjoyed it for what it is. This is the best part. This is what the World Cup's all about. Is these games, these upsets, and it was actually mega. I was here for it. 40-year-old goalkeeper.
Yeah, shout out. Well, I was going to mention the goalkeepers. Yeah, shout out to the 40-year-old goalkeeper. Great from him. Vosinha. What a great performance by him. Massive shout out. But I was going to say, I'm actually disappointed they didn't manage to jag one, because I do think that they may need to make a change between the sticks. Obviously, they didn't concede. But La Fuente, I think he still hasn't picked the right keeper. But maybe a loss would have made a change there. Obviously, they didn't lose; they did keep a clean sheet as well. They just didn't score goals. I saw people talking about
they lose.
They didn't look.
They looked right going forward though as well. Cape Verde. They actually had some all right chances, especially towards the end of the game. You're like, actually could maybe score as well.
I thought they might score. Yeah, not worried. I think it'll be great for Spain. I do love this. I think you'll love this too, Connor, because people obviously talking about Spain dominating the possession, much like Turkey did against Australia. But Cape Verde had more possession than Arsenal did in the UCL final.
Yes, yes, Jimmy.
So
yes, Jimmy.
We're in the World Cup and Arsenal's still getting slagged off. Which brings a smile to Connor and I's faces.
That is exactly what we want. Oh, yes. So
the other one. Oh, sorry, you go.
No. You jump back in. Where were you at?
Well, this is the other big news that I saw today. I don't know if you saw it. Donald Trump will be allowed to lift the World Cup trophy with the winning team, just like he did with the Club World Cup.
Get the fuck out of here.
So if you didn't see the Club World Cup, Connor and I are Chelsea fans, so we did watch it, and it's one of the great videos. We'll put a clip up, you can see it. But yeah, Trump hands it over to Reece James, and then he's like looking at him like, "Mate, are you going to get off stage?" And Trump was like, "Nah." And Trump stands there partying with Chelsea as they celebrate.
It's ridiculous. You can't. Not for the World Cup.
So,
no one gives a fuck about the Club World Cup, but not for the World Cup, please.
Trump will present the 2026 champions with the trophy on July 19th at MetLife Stadium alongside the FIFA president. Sources say FIFA will leave it up to Trump's own decision as to whether he wishes to stay in with the team during the lift or remain with other executives during the ceremony.
You can't be up there. You can't. Don't touch it. Get away from it.
Can you imagine? I'd like to thank the team for having me.
What is going on?
I mean, I know.
This is surreal now.
Well, I mean,
it's actually surreal. Off the back of the UFC.
Yeah, we just had that UFC at the White House is surreal. Like, I don't know if anyone's been to the White House, but for that, and then when they had the players walking out, they had him. Dana White coming out of the White House, just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Trump loves the spectacle. Trump loves making it about himself. So it would not surprise me now that this is official to see him there celebrating with the winning team. The only thing I guess the team could do is just run away from him.
Yeah.
A lot of finals do go to extra time and penalties. So I'm sure there'll be a few cramps. Messi's trying to run away. His legs cramping up. Trump's like, "Come here, Messi. Give me that trophy, little man."
It's like
Trump slide tackles him to get the trophy. Studs out.
It reminds me of was it a scary movie right at the end when it's just like, "I got one last thing to say, shawty." It's like, "Snatch your run."
Or that Happy Gilmore, "Come back. You've got Mr. Gilmore's jacket."
Chase Upton's like, imagine it's Harry Kane. Like, "Go away, Donald."
Go away, Donald. I'm about to lift trophy.
Get away. Mate, a couple other ones put on the World Cup just to round it out, I suppose.
Yeah.
Quick shout. I think we have to probably, undeniably, Scotland fans. They've taken over my Instagram feed.
Love it. Fenway Park. They've taken over the MLB baseball.
How good was that?
That was so good.
Half an hour after the end of the match, after the game at Fenway, they were still going. And all the Americans
singing.
were like, "What is going on? What is this?" They were in Boston Harbor, the exact same place where the people dropped the tea from the boats.
Did you see that? Did you see that guy getting the England team to sign the Declaration of Independence?
No, what was this?
This American guy, I don't know who it was. He printed out a copy of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
And then he went to England training and he got all the English players to sign it. They didn't know what they were signing.
That's good. Fair play.
Yeah,
that is
good
very
bit.
good.
Good bit.
Still getting us. Mate, we've had a terrible start. But anyway, Scotland fans, that anthem at the stadium was ridiculous. And I knew it was coming, but that
it's one of the
that was better than Murrayfields when they go in Murrayfield when they do it. They have the bagpipes and then they go a cappella for the second verse, and it's like goosebumps. Like,
I think it's one of the best. One of the best
anthems.
Yeah, like even in rugby.
I actually think it is the best.
Best anthem. Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah,
maybe that's
the Welsh.
Welsh is good. New Zealand's good.
The French,
I like New Zealand. French, yeah. Sorry, French is good. Maybe that's one we need to do. Sidebars are Mount Rushmore of our national anthems.
Rushmore of anthems.
Anthems, yeah. Definitely have to write that one down.
So good, like they get them during the game. Like you see them like crying after it was their first World Cup win in over like 20 years or something crazy, and it's just
28. Yeah, so my heritage is actually Scottish, so that's where my
plastic jocks.
Yeah, they came into England and stole something, and then you booted them out to Australia. But yeah, so like I don't really like. I've never I've been there, but I've never like. It's not like Scottish pride, but it is cool to see. I do like them. The singing and the 28 years to wait. Very passionate. Yeah. I think that's a big thing to me. Is like. You love fan bases that are really passionate about, their teams. Like we just talked about the Knicks fans and, those celebrities, Spike Lee, Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, they're still there in the next one. The Scottish fans were just so excited to be back.
Dedicated. They're so loud. And it's also Boston of all places, like probably one of the loudest fan bases of people. They're like, this is something. This is like, we've not seen anything like this before.
And like most of Boston is like of Irish descent. So it's the English and the Irish being overtaken by the Scottish. So that's pretty funny. Yeah.
So good for them. And then a couple of other ones as well, I guess, is shout out to the Netherlands, who still I don't think I said this to you yet, but the Netherlands, who have still not lost a match in a game of football in regulation time within 90 minutes for 20 years at a World Cup. So during the World Cup, they've never lost a match during regulation time in 20 years. How ridiculous is that stat? And they've never won one.
That's insane. I did not know that. That's an insane stat. Wow.
Still not lost a match. It's crazy. And then also Tunisia, who've just sacked their manager after one match at the World Cup.
I know. It's pretty rough. One game in, you're gone. But
yeah, just for a little spanking against the Swedes. But yeah, it's been a good start to the tournament. I'm enjoying it. Obviously, all the controversies, but end of the day, it's the World Cup, and people are still loving it and getting behind it.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, I'm loving the more games. I am loving the more games. I think more football, the better. And I think, that is the beautiful thing. It is the world game. I wouldn't probably make any more teams, but I would say as well, we need to change the weighting, because I think you still want like you as much as fun as it is to poke fun at the Italians. I think it's a better World Cup with a minute. They have a rich history. They've obviously won it.
You want the best team. You want the best team.
Yeah. As much as like, you love seeing, like the Spain and the Cape Verde thing, and you're like, wow, that's like, that's really special. To see such, like a smaller team punch above their weight and compete against, a powerhouse, and a lot of people, picked them to win essentially. Then you've also got to look at like, the Germany result, and like they just 7-1.
Actually, you know what though? Fuck it. If you've got a league where Scott McTominay is one of the best players in the league, should you be in the World Cup?
Yeah, true. Yes, I will say that the Scottish ad was really good. I never saw it then.
Well, we should do a little ranking of those in the Mount Rushmore. Yeah, like the top 5.
Look, we'll move on to State of Origin.
Just a quick shout as well before we move on to that. But another quick shout to the guys at Whoop who sent Jimmy and I a couple of Whoop bands. As we have been keen to track our sleep, strain, and recovery levels of an English and Aussie fan during the tournament, but keen to get all fans involved, see who most likely gets the most affected by football, and join our community group, which is COMM-B930C6. So come get involved. The anxiety levels and the sleep levels and stress levels are definitely going to go up today and tonight for me as an English fan. So come get involved. I'd love to see how everyone's coping during the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll chuck. I chucked it up in the podcast in the bio as well. So if you don't, if you did miss Conor saying it, it'll be in the link where you watch this on Spotify. Not much sleep this week between, like I said, about to chat about State of Origin, into the England game Thursday morning, Australia game Saturday morning, into a little gig I got on Saturday night. I don't think I'll be sleeping much, but Conor and I might try and do a little emergency pod, just a shorter one, just about England. We'll try and squeeze that in on Friday our time. I think that's when we'll be able to do it. State of Origin. The one thing I do want to say real quick, Connor, is the TV rights deal is up here for rugby league. The one thing that everyone wants is State of Origin, because it is the most watched thing here in Australia. I think the Tillies have beaten it. Kathy Freeman, obviously, back in the day, but it is the most watched eyeball thing. It looks like 3 matches. It's huge. It's watched around Australia. Even the non-rugby league states are watching it. I mean, the game is at Melbourne tomorrow at the MCG. So the thing is, at the moment, Peter V'landys has said the deal should be done by game 3 of State of Origin. So not this one, game 3. But it looks like that the game will pause for State of Origin for the new TV deal. So I don't know who's getting the rights or whatever, because Seven's involved, Channel 10's involved, Amazon want a slice of the pie, Amazon Prime, I think Netflix wants State of Origin. So there's a lot of things happen, but yeah, they're looking at, so they'll pause for 3 weeks. So they'll pick a State of Origin team, they'll play 1 game every week, and then they'll go back into the regular season, which should be huge.
Wow. So they just take the full 3-week break off. And
just 3-week break. I haven't had enough time to think about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of love it that there's a hard thing around, like, obviously, like leaving your team and then getting into camp, and then the team may change for the second game and then the third game because there's so much time between them. I kind of like the idea of it. If it is just 3 weeks in a row, it is technically, I guess, one team, barring injuries. But you would just continue to train and work. So you would imagine that the more time you have together, like a World Cup, you get better and your team dynamics are better. I think you'd get the same thing here, which I think would increase the quality of the game as well. They did this once during COVID. So they played the season and then the season finished, and then they played 3 State of Origin games.
Really?
Because of quarantine. And it was like, it was great. It was the best. I don't think that would work because it worked in COVID times because we weren't allowed to travel or go anywhere. Players obviously had exemptions to play. If you had players, imagine like your team doesn't even make the finals. You're on the piss. You're doing whatever. It's like, now you're playing for Queensland and New South Wales. I don't think it works at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think it does have to be a mid-year thing. Yeah. Though I will say in that there's a famous photo of the rugby of Queensland's team photos. So this is just after the grand finals that played. They announced the Queensland team, New South Wales team. They take the photos, and Cameron Munster looks absolutely fucked. Like he has. So Storm won the grand final, and he is like just the biggest bags under his eyes, and he has been on an absolute bender.
Has he done what? All the clips of OG Anunoby post next.
Do it going live on Instagram. But yeah, I just really interesting. I do think that.
So when are they thinking of doing it within the season? So obviously halfway, but like, are they looking to do it around when they do the first match, second game, third game? Usually,
that's all we've got. It's a leak that's come out that's kind of been verified by a few news reports now today, this afternoon. So yeah, unsure. I do think it has to happen. I don't think. I think at least this way it can be. Hopefully on a weekend. I wouldn't love for them to keep it on a Wednesday. I know it's been tradition. It's been this great thing in my life since I was a little kid to go watch Origin on a Wednesday night, and you talk about it at school and the lead up. You talk about school the next day. When you're at uni, you go out and you absolutely send it as an adult. Excuse to get on it. But I just think I just think the weekends, like it's just easier for people to get to games, to watch it, for families, for kids, barbecues, all these things. So I would hope that it would be a weekend if they do. If they make it 3 weeks in a row and it's Wednesdays, it's kind of weird because then you wouldn't have any football on the weekend, and like the AFL or someone could own it. If you made it there, at least you'd have them on the weekend, and you'd have the opportunity to own something. Because at the moment, like it doesn't go head to head with anything. Like there's these shitty games, and they are like the games on the weekend. Like one game, like I mean, the Dolphins rolled over the top of the Roosters. Like teams are missing players. Like I don't like that. And if your team does well, it's usually because you've got good players, and it's chicken or egg. Does the good players make the team? Or does the team make the good players? But then you're punished for it. Your players make the Queensland or the New South Wales team, and then you're like, well, you're without them for a few games.
That could be you missing like a game. That's 3-4 weeks pretty much of missing. That's 3-4 weeks of missing games. 3-4 rounds essentially for a lot of teams, isn't it? Where you're like, that could determine your whole season.
Which, yeah, you talk about like this little drinks break in the World Cup. This is a huge break in the season. Like, it could just kill momentum. Like, you could get in a roll and suddenly, like, your players aren't playing, to your point. Like, if you're not playing Queensland or New South Wales, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah. It's like, that's you've got that, but then is it really like balancing out still though? Like you were saying before, of like you're getting rid of all those players during those rounds, and it's like, should that be of benefit to the teams who are not as good? Like, if you're not as good, you shouldn't be having this like, oh, here's like a 3-4 week boost.
Yeah. Here's a gimme.
Here's a gimme. Yeah, and it's just like it's a bit of a weird one. I would love, like, from a guy that's not really grown up with it and is not necessarily bound to the history and heritage of it, of being on a Wednesday or whatever. I'd like the idea of seeing it on a weekend, just having a day of the atmosphere building up, like what we do in the British Lions. Just do what you do there. Have it like, be able to tour it around properly. Have it like an evening match where you get the full day of it really building up and the anticipation building up. And I'd love to see that. I think you do it in the Lions. You can maybe even do it even with that sort of aspect. Like, maybe you bring in other players, like you do maybe like a junior version of it. That's what we're saying. Like, I know, like, if you're worried about all the players not playing, is there another version you can bring into it that's outside the state of origin, like some sort of English, Papua New Guinea, whatever it is, some sort of crossover with other players, and keeping them busy, and during that part of the tournament as well. If you saw it as a tournament, but yeah, during that series, I'm sure you can do it like we do the NBA All-Star break as well.
Yeah,
like, kind of figure out something like that.
It does, yeah, it does exist. I think I haven't had heaps of time to consume it all and think about it, but I think the thing that I realize as we talk about it here now live is that, like, there isn't a winner as such. Like, to you, like, someone, like, some things or some people, something has to be sacrificed or take like the backward seat for it. I think at the end of the day, the premium product is State of Origin. It is more so than the international game. The best rugby league you can watch is State of Origin. So you need to highlight that. And that means probably pausing the game for 3 weeks to, again, have a build-up of the week. Game one, it's on a Saturday, and you can drink through the day, you can plan all this. Then bang, you have all the lead up to game two, and it's bang on a Saturday. Like, that to me makes so much sense. Yes, teams may lose a bit of momentum, you have to pause or whatever, but to showcase your great game, and like you'd own Australia. Like, you'd own Australia for 3 weeks. Like the AFL, Super Rugby, like they wouldn't be able to do anything because everything would be all eyes on this. And you could get more sponsors on board. And again, I know they want to tour it. I think next year it's going to New Zealand for the first time. They're playing at Eden Park. So I think that'll be huge. I'd love to. We should make sure we go over for that. Put that in the diary, but yeah, that'll be big. So I think that also helps if they want to, because I know that V'landys, he came up with the Vegas thing and all that. He'd love to take it to America. It has been to America before, by the way. They did take it to America. Yeah. I think it was in the 80s. I want to say. I think it's before I was born. But
I think there's something there though where you can put it to a Saturday and do something like what they do with Magic Round, and you bring in the State of Origin W. You maybe do like a 21s match, whatever it might be.
Well, they do. They have the women's game, which is kind of played separately. They have the under 19s and that. They could sort of.
That's what I mean. Like, maybe you make like a bit more of a day out of it and a spectacle, and you do it all in the same place, same day, and you kind of build up to the matches and. Just like that, I like the awareness it brings to the more the youth side of things, the women's side of things as well there, and you kind of have that building up and anticipation to the main spectacle in the evening. But I don't know whether that will be a detriment to the women's game is something else.
Even like there's
something you could do with it.
There's players like every week because they play. I'm going to get this wrong, but they play the 19s game. I think around the same time. Maybe it's before. I can't remember. But there are occasions where even now, like the Roosters have pulled out a couple of players from the New South Wales team. Teams have done this for years, by the way, because if you lose, so imagine you've got your youth players, but then you lose players to Origin, then these 19-year-olds or 18, 17 are playing under 19s, then you've got no one. So what they do is they pull the kids out of 19 Origins. So you can play first grade, which again is a huge accomplishment. You're going to play first grade in the NRL, but then it takes away from that competition. So I think back to the thing is like you want to showcase State of Origin. You know, the women's game continues to grow. I think have men's, girls, under 19s. That's hit the nail on the head. We should get into the game.
Things to talk with. What are the big changes?
I'll hit you with all the Queensland things, and then we can discuss it. So Queensland, they've made 3 changes from that side that lost, but should have won game one. a couple of injury-enforced reshuffles. So Reece Walsh, he's been brought back into the team the bench. He's back. He's back. The Dark Lord is back.
I'm back.
My boy. I picked him from the start. He's on the bench, but Murray Tuilagi has played for Queensland before. He's in your fantasy team.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm a big Murray Tuilagi fan. I think, if there's an injury in that back line, he can come into it. He's proven himself. Love it. Ezra Mam's been dropped. He's also not starting for the Broncos as well. Real form dip there. Your boy, Gmat Shibasaki, misses out through injury. Paddy Carrigan, huge out with injury. He is always performs for Queensland, always one of our best players, if not the best player on the park, and huge because from the Broncos, Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan, arguably two best forwards. Payne Haas is back in the New South Wales team. Paddy Carrigan is out of it.
Out.
So pretty much same team. They're the big changes though. Max Plath is at 14 now. Ruben Cotto moves to 13, his preferred position. Britt Nakura comes into the starting team. My boy Fini Fuiaki from the Dolphins. Love him. He's on the bench now. 16. I think he's going to have a huge game. Big impact off the bench. But that's they're the big ones.
How are we feeling about it? What are the Spidey senses saying?
Oh, I think Queensland win. They came out so hot. I mean, we were there at the game. We may have left early, but we can not confirm or deny those rumours. Queensland came out so hot, and then obviously, New South Wales, they played well, but you've got to take advantage when there's a man gets sent off. It's not a sin bin. He's sent off. Queensland did that when Joseph Suaalii got sent off. They won. Same thing here. Kalen Ponga got sent off. New South Wales take advantage. You have to take advantage. They did that. Congratulations, you won. That's I made the joke saying that Queensland should have won, but no, New South Wales, you won. I don't see it. I just think Queensland win this game. It's down in Melbourne. Harry Grant and Cam Munster both haven't had great years for the Storm, but it technically is a home game for them. I think they're really going to stand up. I think Munster will have a huge game. I think he's really going to turn it on, and I think it's win or go home. Like, if New South Wales win this, they win. It's all over. So I think Billy had him up for the first game. Obviously, that little hiccup with Kalen. Barring a hiccup, I see Queensland winning. New South Wales team, they've had a late change. So Casey McLean was named in the starting team. He came off the bench. I don't know if you remember the end of last game. But, he's done his strained his thigh. He's going to miss 4 weeks as well. So he'll miss the next game as well. It's a shame for him. But rugby boy, Marky Mark, Nawanga Nitawaze is onto the wing. And I think he'll have a huge game. Played for Australia at the end of last year, the Kangaroos tour. Yeah. Dual international.
Why was he not involved in the first match?
I think he was injured, but then he came back, and I just don't think they picked him. But I do think he did have that injury, so he was out for a while, but he is back. I think it's huge. I think attacking as well, they'll go to him. I think he'll have a big game. Kula moves into his left centre position, which is his preferred position, so he'll like that. And Dolphins gun Jack Bostock moves on to the interchange, the 6-man interchange bench. The other news, Mitch Moses returns at 5'8". I think that's a bit stiff. Ethan Strange had a great game. Payne Haas comes back, huge. Best prop in the game. So for New South Wales to get him, that's a huge inclusion. Dylan Lucas debuting. Now, I like Dylan Lucas, but they dropped Olakau'atu, which I thought was fucking insane. Olakau'atu is probably the form second row, one of, or in the discussion. But to not only, he didn't just get moved to the bench, he got moved to 20th man. So essentially he won't play. Unless barring a bunch of injuries. So that to me is insane.
Any logic behind that?
I'm not really sure. Olakau'atu is a right edge back rower as well. Dylan Lucas plays on the left. So does Hudson Young. Hudson Young will stay on the left, and Dylan Lucas is going to play on the right. He's come out and said, they're just edges of the field. It doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of does. I mean, you play there week in, week out at Clubland. You obviously have a preferred side of the field, the way you defend, the way you step, fend, all those sort of things. I've seen the kick-on and kick-off boys. I don't know if you saw that clip when they were talking about the biggest difference between rugby league and rugby union now. Because all those boys sort of grew up playing rugby league in one form or another.
As well, yeah.
They're just rugby league is just this non-stop. Like you got to have the biggest motor in the world. Like with the 6 again rules and stuff, they're like you are just constantly going. There's no like you've got to be fit. VO2 max has got to be absolute. And Matt Giddo was talking about like they play on sides of the field. Like left winger, left centre, left edge. Like you fend one way and you throw it. He was talking about playing with Will Chambers at the end of his career in Japanese rugby, I think it was. And he just needed to pass right instead of left.
And he couldn't do it.
And he just couldn't do it. Matt Giddo goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes, "Mate, I can't pass that way." And he's like, "You played for Queensland, Australia. Like, what the fuck?"
I remember seeing it. It's like, imagine, like, you're the best of the best. And you're like, not this time, buddy.
Nah, mate, don't pass that way. I'm
an Andy Turner. I can't pass that.
I can turn left.
Couple of fucking basically league is just a bunch of Zoolanders. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, league is a bunch of Zoolanders. I think Stephen Crichton's out with a shoulder injury. They got named for the Bulldogs, so not entirely sure what's happening there. Matt Burton, Jacob Saifiti have been axed, strained to the bench. Yeah, Olaquatu, 20th man. I imagine like Laurie Dale, he's so scared of Olaquatu too. Like he's a scary bloke. Like he couldn't just call him up and be like, you're not picked. You know that scene in The Simpsons where Homer calls up Burns to quit? He goes, "I quit." Marge is like, "Homer, he can't see you winking." Ah! That's Laurie Daly. Laurie Daly's like, "Olaquatu, you've been selected." It's Laurie, he can't see you winking. Ah! I think it'll be a great game. I don't see Queensland losing this game with so much on the line. The way they started last game, obviously losing a man as well.
I think the Munster element is going to be pretty key with this being in Melbourne.
Yeah, I think Munster and Storm and Harry haven't had a great season by their standards, and Munster's has historically owned State of Origin. He has always gone to another level. I didn't see that in that first game, and I just think down home game, so much on the line as well. Like again, it's that motivation. It's you have to win or it's over. Yeah. So I see them winning it, and I see them sending it to a third game.
Just for my reference and the wider UK and non-rugby league followers' references, any Melbourne boys in the New South Wales side?
I don't think there's any Melbourne. Oh, Storm players. I think you're talking born and bred. I don't think there's Storm players born and bred in either. No, I don't believe so. I don't think there's any Storm.
Those two, because they do really come into it. Those, but got it. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, after my first taste of it, when we went, thanks to the guys at Tooheys, that was an all-time atmosphere, and just I didn't really appreciate it. Like the New South Wales fans, the kind of intensity of it when you see it up close and personal is ridiculous. So, man, I'm fully drank the Kool-Aid on it now, and it's one of my favorite sporting events. I mean, I always loved it before, even before I moved to Australia, State of Origin, and just how intense it was, the quality of the game, and just the physicality. So. And I'm just now after seeing it live, I'm so into it. Like for any neutrals of sport, give it a watch. It is one of the all-time spectacles. Even if you're a non-rugby league guy, just to see it live and see it on TV, and just the drama of it is something else. Just these guys that play with each other and just being like, "I'm gonna tear the shit out of you." Yeah, I'm
gonna fucking kill you. As soon as you put that jersey on, all your club loyalties and everything else go out the window. That's why it's so special.
Do you think majority for players that play in Origin, do you think they are more loyal to State of Origin side or club sides?
Oh, State of Origin. Yeah, State of Origin.
Really?
Yeah, I think without like going through the history of it again, what happened was that thing of like it was the New South Wales Rugby League. So the best players from Queensland came down. They played State of Origin, but it was from essentially like imagine it being two tiers. So it'd be like the top tier playing the second tier. Because the top tier in Australia was New South Wales. So they were like, all these Queenslanders were born up there and bred there, but they'd play for this New South Wales team and dominate. So in that like first game, famously, Arthur Beeson from Queensland, who was a captain who played for East, played for the Roosters, absolutely belted one of his teammates. And his teammate was like, "What the fuck?" And everyone was sort of confused. And he was like, I'm fuck this for my state. Like it was like payback for like, 10s, 20, 30 years of Queensland just being belted by the New South Wales team. And so, he essentially set the tempo. So from then on, it was like, as soon as you put this jersey on, it meant something different. It's like, he belted his own teammate. Everyone was like, what the fuck? And then he came back next week. He's like, we're right, mate. And this guy was a bit like still iffy. But no, that's That's where it's come from.
Why can't they get this right with like the East and the West and all the American sports of like just the Pro Bowl and things like that? It's just, why can't someone just be like, fuck it?
Well, I was actually chatting about this with Laurie Horace. I do the NFL podcast with over at ESPN, and we were talking about it. And we were talking about college football as well. We were just talking about some stuff for the NFL season and trying to get some things right for the game down here or down in Melbourne here in Australia in September. And we're like this because like I think it's the affinity as well for like the fan. So like college football is so rowdy and so loved because you can go to a college, right? So I went to Alabama, so I feel such a connection to my team. I went there. That's my college. So like I can say I went to Alabama and I can watch my team play. I support the Eagles. I can't say, oh, I went to the Eagles. Like it's and I think it's that tribalism. And so like I think that, you know, that's why State of Origin works as well, because like these players grew up there and they're from there, so it means something to them. They want to represent their state, but they want to represent the people as well, because it means something to the people. I think that's a problem with like some of those other things. It's like, you know, the East versus West or whatever it is like, do we really care about the East and the West? That's why the All-Star game should be like the rest of the world versus the US. Because then that's the buy-in, right?
For the Pro Bowl, I think it should be like what you were talking about there. Make it something more of a passion point of being like, it should be the state you're from, or maybe that's how you pick it.
I like colleges or the SEC versus the Big Ten or something.
Yeah, you have two options. You either pick your college team or the state that you were born and raised, whatever. That's what you should be representing, I think.
That's how you get them. Like you need to like put something online. Like if you're playing for that's why the US went and, you know, obviously to the Olympics and won, and obviously they haven't won at times, and then they've come back a bit like, you know, the dream team, and then there was the redeem team. Like it's something like if you get smacked in the mouth by the world team, the US will be like, it's embarrassing, and then the people are embarrassed, right? Then now you're embarrassing your fan base. That's why like the World Cup and stuff works, because it's like we're passionate about where we're from. Like Australians, you know, that again to that point we were saying earlier, don't know anything about football, never been to a soccer game. And suddenly they're all around Australia because it's your country. Yeah, that's why State of Origin works. That's why, you know.
Yeah. And I think you can settle that in the US as well. With so much stuff with like high school football. You get it with like SEC stuff and things like that. Of being like Texas football, Florida, like California, East Coast, whatever it is. It's like which is the best, and being able to settle all of those differences and being like, all right, now I'm gonna be like a California football guy or whatever. I'm gonna be like a Texas football guy, and it's just like you bring that into it and you put that into like an NFL case. You're there like, okay, who's actually the best sort of areas?
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should move into a little bit of culturally uncultured.
Yeah.
So didn't get a chance to do that last week.
Yeah. No. Let's rip in. I know. Obviously, well, I did want to quickly touch on. Obviously, you had a fun little time at the old rodeo. Speaking of being purely, like, truly culturally uncultured.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, so I went out to the Canamble Rodeo, which is on the long weekend. Canamble is like in the middle of New South Wales. So you're driving inland from Sydney, so away from the surf and the beaches. 9 hours.
9 hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long. Yeah. I think you can actually. I think there's like a little airport out there that you can get like one of those like little Rex or like Q-Link. There's like Qantas Link planes out there, but they tend to be pretty expensive because like where I'm from in Gundawindi, it's like an 10 hour drive, so it's even further. Yeah. But there's no airport there. You can fly into a place called Moree, which is about 2.5 hours away. But they're so expensive because they're such small planes, and like people, like they don't run them all the time as well. So like when people need to go, you look at the price and go, fuck, like my mum sometimes drives to Brisbane just to get a flight from Brisbane because it's cheaper, even though that's further away to drive.
Oh my God.
It's cheaper than these little flights. They tend to be like, there's a lot of, there is money out regionally as well. I mean, some farmers will say, they're doing it tough, and they are. I'm not having a go at farmers. Connor, I'll tell you one thing, never have a go at fucking farmers. They will find you and they will kill you. They will do terrible things to you. And I'm not doing that. I'm just saying there are a lot of farmers that are struggling, but there are some farmers that make a good mint. They're making a bit of money. Yeah. So they're happy to, some cotton farms out there, mate, that are worth a lot of money. So they're jumping on planes. I know farmers jumping on planes to Sydney to have lunch and fly back in the afternoon. So But yeah, went out to Canamble. It happens every June long weekend. Went out with my partner and one of her friends, Millie. Her family owns a farm out there, the Williams. So they've got a huge. I don't even know how much property they have, mate. They wouldn't tell me. I think because they're trying to be humble, but they have a lot of land out there, and it's so much fun. Stayed with her brother who has a place out there, Jason, and his partner Danica. You got to come out next year. I FaceTimed you when I was there. It's kind
of on your Motorola, pretty much. Which is what the signal is.
Your phone barely works out there. Like when you're out on their property, it doesn't work at all. They've got like a Starlink from Tesla on their roof. Which
you're probably stepping back into a time capsule, aren't you?
Literally, like phone doesn't work.
I love it.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I mean, the people are, they're good natured. The rodeo's fun. I mean, there's camp draft and roping. There's a whole bunch of things that you can watch. Everyone's in a good mood. Friend of the podcast, Ned Hannigan, former Wallaby. He's from out that way as well. His family owned property out there.
That makes so much sense now.
If you meet Ned, like, hey mate, how are you? Good to see you. You're doing well. Send the best to the family, the missus, the cheese and kisses. Yeah. A great man. He's actually
he plays like he grew up in the middle of nowhere as well.
I mean, shout out to the Canamble Rams, which is the team he played for when he was a youth. He's he plays just a great man. Him and his wife, they bought a place in Tamworth, so they're living out that way now.
Great spot.
But he's going to be coming down a bit. I think he said for the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup next year. So I've thrown the invite out, and he'll jump on the podcast to have a little bit of a yarn, tell some stories, a few beers. I
want to get a bit of French rugby insight from him. I've wanted to prod away at that for a while.
Obviously played over there in France as well. So, but you have to come out. It's so much fun. Everyone's in a good mood. Drinks are cheap. You punch. It's so cold, but you rug up because you're in the middle of nowhere. There's big fires. Just can't recommend it enough. The good people at Canamble, every year they look after us. They look at everyone that comes out that way. And if you're looking for a real quintessential, a bit of Australiana. We had a friend of ours, Gabby, who's from England as well. And she fucking lost her mind, mate. She's riding tractors. She's on four-wheelers. It was like the greatest thing she'd ever done. If you really want an Australian experience, I'd recommend the Canamble Rodeo. She was loving it, mate. She came back with an Aussie twang. She's like, "G'day, mate. How are you?" The
proper Crocodile Dundee situation.
She really wanted to ride a bull. And a few liquid courage, but we definitely made sure that didn't happen because she would not have come home and her parents would have been very upset.
She was waiting to fucking Paul Hogan just to walk through the door, wasn't she?
Even the pub, she was like, she's she's again like the pub's great, but she was like expecting, I think, a more fine dining establishment. She's like, oh my, she's like, this is fucked. But it was she was in good spirits. It was a lot of fun. But anything from your trip that stands out so far?
The wedding was pretty good time. Obviously, that was the main reason why I was coming back here originally. My good mate Alistair Lyon, former colleague turned journalist now as well over at City AM, but had a great time at his wedding over at his lovely family house in Hampshires. Not quite the same country vibes, but a very much more English country vibe. Honestly, it felt like going out to something. It's like being in a Richard Curtis film. It's that proper four weddings and a funeral sort of vibe. Just penguin suits, morning suit sort of vibe, and then a lot of he's an Eastern boy, so a lot of that, and next to uni, which is some of the rarest places you can get. So honestly, mate, it's basically like being at a Tory convention, but it was a good time. So that was a lovely weekend, and honestly, just doing that and just being honestly come back here and be able to watch the football, I felt like I was healing over on Saturday because it felt like nature was healing because I was literally at a pub in North London at the Albion. It's a great spot. 10 out of 10 would recommend if you're ever in that part of town. But I was just standing there having a nice wine. Everyone was standing on the street. It was great. I was like, I'm drinking on the street again. You can't. I don't know why you can't beat it. Like I can see why everyone goes to Dudley, but I think it's the idea of everyone watching you drink and everybody that isn't at that pub knowing you're there and you're like, I'm here, you're not, and like just be able to show off to the rest of the world. But mate, it was great, just in the sun, coming through, beautiful pub, right on the street, cars coming down, people not giving a fuck, and it was just, I was like, I'm home. I'm home. This is great.
Yeah.
This is what I'm back for. But yeah, no, it's been good, mate. And obviously, been getting a lot of time just churning through the series at the moment. Jimmy and I have been having a lot of beef on this. This absolute idiot is not listen to any of my recommendations, but you have just started watching something that I'm about to tuck into. So how's it been so far, mate? Cape Fear.
Yeah, so I started watching Cape Fear, which is unreal. Javier Bardem. He's just he's a great villain. I mean, he's, in
he
Sky.
Didn't get much praise for Skyfall, but I loved him in as a Bond villain.
Skyfall's my favorite Bond movie. And he's my favorite Bond villain of those. Oh no, I'd say Casino Royale. Sorry, is my favorite of Daniel Craig. Sorry, yes. Yeah. So that's my favorite. That's 1A. But I'd say this maybe not 1B, but 2. Like it's there. Like I love Skyfall. I love him in that movie. To your point, I think it's become underrated. I think Skyfall's become underrated in his performance in it. He's so good in this. Amy Adams, who I love. Incredibly frustrating at the start. She has this really slow, because they're in Georgia, she has this really slow southern drawl. Which I understand for the character, but I haven't really seen her do anything like that, and it's like extremely frustrating because it's just like, talk fucking faster. She talks like this, and she and it's part of the character. I get it, but I'm just like, fucking hurry up, love. Come on, we got things to do. Patrick Wilson as well.
Mate, the man loves a bit of horror, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he's in all the Conjuring.
Cape Fear is it? How much horror is it? Is it horror?
No, it's like a thriller, but there's like, I mean, I'm not spoiling anything because the first episode starts with a warning from Apple, and it's a suicide warning. It's like, this is triggering to you. This is the website you can see and everything. So that's pretty much the first scene in it. And it's graphic, and there's other scenes where it flashbacks of Javier Bardem's character Javier Bardem's character in prison, because he's in prison. He gets out of prison, and they're like super graphic. Like I was trying to think of scenes I'd seen this graphic. Like it does not like do the camera pan away, or it doesn't like kind of do it for a split. Like someone dies and it really hangs on the thing and how they've done. I'm like, George, that's pretty full on. But it's like it's fucking Con 80, mate. It's bloody
reaction.
It's but it's like, it's so like, it's one of those things that's really frustrating because you're like, what are you doing? Like, shut the door behind you. And like, but you got to, like, I've punched out all 3 because now, we're back to weekly episodes. But it's good. It's just because you're like, well, I need to know what happens. And there's so many different sort of storylines happening, and you don't know anything. Like I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm still trying to figure out how it's all the spider web. How it's
I like that when you're trying to piece it together.
Yeah,
when you're trying to piece it together, it's good. Yeah, I'm about to get stuck into it. I've been doing a lot of catch up from some other series I've been wanting to finish, but we'll start punching through it, and we can start debriefing on this as and when I'm caught up. But speaking of debriefing, one I tried to brief you on, you haven't actually caught up on yet. Widow's Bay. I've been fuming at Jimmy about this, but this is honestly, mate, been the best series I think I've watched in the past year. All right, outside of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but that was actually so short. This has been the juiciest thing I've been able to sink my teeth into for a while. I'm not a big horror guy either. I've got some young childhood trauma with some horror films, and then having 3 older siblings that it's taken me a lot to work through. But you stuck through it. Like I said to you, this is, if you're a big Schitt's Creek fan, it's Schitt's Creek meets a Stephen King novel film, and it has that thriller. But the scary moments in this make the comedy that much more laugh out loud funny. Like, you're so on edge, and you're there you're so tense, and it's just such a release valve when it happens that it's so good. So you're gonna have to tell the missus to pluck up the courage, and you're gonna have to get into it.
Well, that was the reason why we didn't watch. So we went to watch something because we just finished Your Friends and Neighbours. I don't know if you finished that.
I've just finished it as well.
Yeah. We can talk about that in a sec. But so we finished that, and then we were looking for something else, and then I wanted to watch Widow's Bay off your recommendation. But she was like, it's horror, we're not watching it, and it's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is insane. But yeah, she was like, no. And then it's funny, we watched Cape Fear, which I'm like, this also looks a little scary. And then the first scene's really graphic and there's some stuff. And I'm like, we were trying to watch something. So yeah, we'll circle back because obviously we might be able to watch that now as well because we've got to wait week on week for Cape Fear.
For people that haven't done Widow's Bay, and I'd love to get the wider audience involved. I want to know who's been listening to this. I want to get some thoughts on what's going on. But it's for the wider references. Basically, this island that they're trying to turn into like a Martha's Vineyard, sort of northeast US, and it's quite remote. And they're trying to promote it and promote tourism, but it's cursed. And basically the mayor of this town is kind of defiant about this curse and doesn't want to believe it, despite all these things happening to him constantly. And he kind of it's sort of going through that process of how he gets to this point and why is it cursed, and it goes through the history of this town. And it's sort of a bit of like a Salem witch trial sort of vibe to it as well. But it's just the characters and the casting and there's the scenery and every way they've shot this is so perfectly done. It's honestly, and the humor. Matthew Rhys plays this mayor perfectly. And they just have these really good dynamics of this guy that's a bit of like an East Coast mainland guy, a bit of a snob, and he kind of looks down on these people, these island people, and it's just creates these perfect social dynamics. So yeah, I really want you to get involved with this because you need to have a watch. It's been one of the best things I've watched, and just such a different vibe to anything I've ever done before.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just so anti-horror. Like I don't think I had a necessarily bad experience like you as a kid. I don't know. Like I find it hard to like, even some of like, I find the murder stuff really, I can't watch any of the true crime stuff because I'm just constantly like, this happened. Even the Cape Fear stuff is like, it's just enough. I'm like, this is enough for me to kind of manage it. I can't watch, like I couldn't watch the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. I was like, nah, because I'm like this. And also like, I never understood. Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't understand as well, like, you know, and how they do that stuff. And I'm like, it's real people. And like the people who died would have, you know, family and members and whatever. And we're just, you know, we're profiting off their loss and someone's playing them like being eaten or whatever. You're just like, I can't fucking do this. I want to watch something funny or like lighthearted.
It's actually happened to someone. This is pretty fucked up.
Why are we all, and you know, someone's playing the car. Anyway, yeah, that's a story for another time. But you finished Your Friends and Neighbours. You like it?
Mate, yeah, I finished it. Yeah, just end of last week as well. So good. I thought season 2 was really good. I really fell off it. I got to like halfway through season 1 and I just stopped watching all of a sudden. And I was like, you know what, time to pick it back up. I know you were watching it. I was like, why did I fall off this? This is such a good series.
It's so good. And what's old mate in season 2?
James Marsden.
He plays that character so well. So well.
Well, all right, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Talk about this. So just spoiler alert. Tune out. Spoiler alert. Finished it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
What do we think? Do you think? I know obviously his character's dead, but do we think, or is he?
Well, I mean, can I just say that?
What do we think? What do we think? Do you think he's like an arms person? Like what? Like something's going to come back. I don't feel like that narrative is finished.
Yeah, I think first of all, the last 2 episodes, great television. I think like to have him die, I think was like you thought he was dead, right? Because he hits his head on the ground and you're like, that's the end of the episode, right? And you're like, I did not think they were going to kill him off like that or that quickly because they're having an argument in the house and then the next episode where like he comes back to life in the car. And I'm like, oh, he was alive. And then they have the big fight, and I'm like, why are they pulling over? Why is he fucking still driving? And then they turn into the lake, and then he obviously does die. And it ends with a fisherman on the lake, and you're like, he's hooked the car that's in the lake. So some great television. Yeah, I don't think it's over. I think there's definitely more. I think he is an arms dealer, but then obviously like it alludes to John Hamm's character when he's outside the bowling alley. And it's the lawyer of old mate, and he's dead. You know, he's saying like it's the girl, the Aussie actress.
Yeah.
And he's saying, you know, she's
Cricket Birch.
Cricket Birch. He's saying Cricket Birch is the one that basically abducted you and didn't want the money taken out. So I think she's also doing some dodgy stuff, and she was aware that he was doing some dodgy stuff, and it was like
she knew exactly where it was coming from.
Yeah, she was fine with it because she's in the dodgy. So I think, to your point, I think that storyline will continue. I do remember seeing James Marsden talk about somewhere, and it was like, to him, it was like just a limited series. I thought he meant as in like, it's smaller or whatever. But I think maybe that was just him. He got to do a character that he liked for a season, and it's like, all right, I'm done now.
Yeah. He's great at playing those kind of characters as well. Like coming in and just being a bit of a dick and just playing this big, outgoing, kind of charismatic.
Real charismatic, handsome, singing, dancing. But I think it'll move into like his relationship with Cricket Birch, and maybe she knew him or was aware of him, and she knew where the money was, and so she's now shady, and so now John Hamm's sort of answering to her. I think that's probably where we go. But I'm so, because there's so many other storylines, like the dead dog in the backyard. We didn't find out what happened to that. I was convinced they'd look for him and be looking, and they found a fresh grave in their backyard, and they'd find a dog in there. I felt like there were other storylines that we didn't really get resolved.
They've done well that second one, and obviously dialed up the glitz and the glam of it. They've had sort of like the character development with some of them. I mean, Barney, I think, is one of my favourite characters.
Barney's so good.
Show. They could do a whole spin-off, I think, with his whole like background and all of his business dealings. But that's been good. I like the dynamics of the club. I really like, tell you what, some of my favourite bits, I think they did so well, of the sauna scenes on both sides, the women's and the men's side of things, men's side of things. And it's just that dynamic and the anxiety and the heat building and just people just completely losing their minds. So that was good. I think my thing with it, where I think that's probably why I fell off it a little bit the first time round, is the predictability of, I think, his spiraling of like, as soon as he's doing well, somebody's going to go bad. And it reminded me a little bit of when you're watching Breaking Bad, of someone that just can't stay out of their own way, and it becomes quite frustrating. And it sort of annoys you because he's obviously a smart bloke, but he doesn't make smart decisions all the time. Well, and you're there just like...
I think, I agree with you. I think that's like, if the character's doing it for like a while and then they change. But I feel like that's what happened in this season. He pulled the money out and he was like, I want to change. Like, I want to be better. He wasn't really doing the break-ins anymore. He went and gave the money back. And I felt like he was making a conscious choice of like, after his dad dies in the series, it's like, I want to be better for my kids and my family. But I think this is to me where it's interesting for the next season, because it's like the bad things kept happening. Now that could be because of all the decisions he made previously, but like, what does he do now? Because does he keep trying to go down the straight and narrow path of like, no, I'm going to be good? Or it's like, well, fuck, all this shit's happening anyway. Yeah. Does he go dark? Does he really lean into it and go the other way? Because I think to your point,
really getting to worlds where he doesn't know what he's dealing with. Like,
I feel like they're the interesting points. If we just get another season of him like flirting with it in and out, it's like, oh, come on, like it's the same thing now. I think he's either really going to lean into, I'm trying to do everything good and see what comes from it, or I'm just going to fucking be the real villain here, and in a world that I know nothing of, like the art dealer scene and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting because, the art dealers like beat the shit out of him, and then he gets like one or the other. I feel like if we're just kind of doing the same thing again, it's like, this is now the same.
Same, yeah. I think the budget's going to go up on it. I think it's done well again, and I think they're going to take it abroad now a little bit more of just like...
because I saw like the daughter, that his son's dating. She's overseas, so it's like he could go visit her with that. The daughter could go to college, so like there's that. Obviously Cricket Birch, like there's to your point, they've got a bigger budget, and there's now a few storylines where it could be, we could go fucking visit Barney's family. Like, where the fuck are like his wife's dad? Where's he from? Did they say it? Is it Hong Kong?
Yeah, they're what? So is that the Korean side? I think
Korean.
They are in Korea. Oh, with that job that he wants him. Yeah, and that whole dynamic.
Yeah. A lot of like bigger scale, I guess, production things that they can really explore that they've kind of, put the seeds in for. So yeah, I know I'm definitely excited for the next season. I really like it. I like John Hamm.
Yeah, no, I'm big time. I'm into it. Have you seen? So I was just trying to see your friends and neighbours casting for season 3.
Yeah.
Who's because I feel like this is what it's going to get into, of like a bit of a rotation now, kind of big names coming in, swinging big. Is that Dawson's?
I don't think there's anything announced yet, or I haven't seen anything.
I think it's the dude from Dawson's Creek, not the guy that just passed away, sadly, James Van Der Beek, but Pacey, Joshua Jackson apparently has joined the casting of it. Yeah, it looks like they've added in a fair few new additions, so it looks like that's where it might be going in terms of the casting side of things.
Oh, Michelle Monaghan's joining season 3.
Yeah.
She's great.
That's her. Yeah, she's going to be a series. Yeah, Michelle Monaghan,
yeah.
Which is funny because she's in that film with that rom-com with James Marsden as well.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. She is good. She's meant to be a series regular as well. I wonder what she's going to be getting into. All right, nice. I like this.
Good.
All right, maybe next time round we can do a bit of digging and see what where we think the show might go. Some very early predictions.
Early predictions for season 3. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can wrap up. The other thing I had was, so when I was doing radio, there was a guy that sort of started a whole dad joke thing called Anthony, and he would always send us dad jokes, and like some of them get 10 million views, and he was literally the king of it. And obviously, I'm not doing radio anymore. And he messaged me the other day, and he's like, "I've got some dad jokes, if you want them." So he's sent me 3 here, and I thought, why not? Could be a fun way for us to always end the podcast. People love dad jokes.
Yeah, I like it.
So let's have a listen and see what he's got.
2 guys are using a restroom at a funeral home, and one looks over to the other and says, "Morning," and the other one goes, "Nah, just taking a piss."
That's good. Morning. Nah, mate, just taking a piss. Good gig. Right.
Do call a bird with a bad cough a flamingo.
It's winter. People are cold. Flamingo. All right, one more. Here we go.
I met a microbiologist today. He was a lot taller than I expected.
That's my kind of
He was fucking huge. Thought he'd be tiny. Thank you, Anthony. Maybe a fun way for us to finish the podcast. That's always always a good bit of fun. But we'll wrap it up here. We're an hour 30. Seems to be the sort of time we're doing them these days. But yeah, we'll maybe try and do a mini pod on Friday my time. Giving you a take.
Checking post England, see how I'm holding up.
See how you're holding up after Thursday, and then it'll be maybe even a little look ahead. We might do Friday night my time. I think I've got something on Friday morning, but yeah, a little check in with you, and also look ahead to Saturday morning, which will be Australia and USA.
Yeah, getting into it now, loving it. Yeah, post State of Origin check in, post England's little preview ahead of Socceroos, and we'll have a little catch up, a little bit more on culture as well. So yeah, cheers for listening, all.
All right, we love yous, and we'll see you soon.